La Resortera.
All right, here we are, another week, Pura Vida Perspectives podcast. We have, if you watched our episode last week, we had Bastian, and he was telling us, well, about kind of an update on their plan. So they're going to be traveling the Pan American Highway. They got this amazing trip plan. So in the last episode, we kind of talked about some of the struggles that they went through with, securing a vehicle and kind of a lot of the roadblocks that they've encountered. And this episode, I think it'd be pretty cool to chat about what does their overall trip look like now? And maybe if some of you have ever been wondering, about that lifestyle, like how do I get into, essentially you guys are, travel influencers, and you want to make that, or you are making that your lifestyle, you are making that your income. And I'm sure you guys have learned so many valuable things along the way,
for sure.
Things that have worked, things that don't work. And, you're just jumping into this experience, and I know it's going to be amazing. So I thought this episode would be pretty cool to hear about, how your overall trip's going to flow. But then what kind of, I guess, from the business perspective, what have you learned about that? Because maybe someone here is interested in taking that leap too. And maybe seeing you guys do it, like, gives other people the courage. Like, maybe someone else is going, man, I've always wanted to do that. Maybe it's not such a crazy idea. They're doing it. I think I can do it too. And then I hear that a lot from people that I work with sometimes. They're like, well, you did it. I can do it. Right. So I just think what you guys are doing is really inspirational. And I'd love to hear, more.
Well, first of all, thank you very much.
Pros and cons.
Pros and cons. Well, the cons are very easy because everything is money, right? And so that's the whole point. Like, making money online is difficult. You have to be very persistent. And I always say the 3 key points are passion, persistence, and patience. So you have to love what you do. Otherwise, it's going to be a drag. You have to be persistent because you're not the only person on YouTube trying to make it. So you have to be very persistent, and patience. If you think, I'm going to do this and next year I have to be rich, then good luck. If you do, tell me how. So for us, of course, the first source of revenue with YouTube is getting monetized. And everybody's getting excited about that. But that's scraping pennies. That we call it gas money. And that's when I don't use my car. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of aspects within YouTube where you can get built up and make your money outside of the advertisement. Mostly, for example, brand deals. So, for example, I got one with my insurance safety wing that we have as Digital Nomads. So if I mention those companies in my videos, I'm getting paid. And then let's say you watch my video and you think, oh, that's a good insurance. I want to have that too. And you buy that insurance, I'm getting paid. And every month that you're paying, I'm getting paid. So that's affiliate marketing and brand deals is the biggest. 70% of the income of big YouTubers is that. And of course, as we're traveling, we're doing a lot of deals along the way. So we got a media kit that we're going to use on the Pan American Highway. We're gonna talk to hotels. We're going to talk to travel companies, tour companies. We're going to talk to restaurants. So we're going to offer our services as videographers, as photographers. Hey, you got a wedding coming up, let us know. You got a hairdresser salon, let us know. So we make money along the way by offering these kind of services. And another thing, knowledge is power. So if everybody is knowledgeable at something, so you can convert that into a source of income. In my case, I have been doing YouTube for over a decade. I got 27,000 plus subscribers. We're doing well. And I have created a course, which is going to be YouTubers for Entrepreneurs, where I'm going to explain everything from you starting your channel, coming up with a name, content creating. And most importantly, it's not just dumping a video online, titles, thumbnails. How do you get a brand deal? How do you get marketing affiliate? How do you get people to work with you together? How do you grow? So from scratch to becoming a successful YouTuber, it's going to be a 3-hour course, which we're going to give. And that's also something we're going to do online. Mm-hmm. So you have to be creative. You have to be willing to try things. And this is a part I really hate to say, it's a lot of hard work. Because the reason why I say this, and I really like to expand on that, every time I met people that made it, I always ask, how did you do that? How did you become rich? How did you become successful? And you always get the same answer, by hard work.
Hard work.
That's incorrect. Working hard, because if you work in a restaurant
and you work hard, work smart.
No, you have to work hard on your project. You have to work hard for you, because that's the thing. If you work for a boss, you can work hard, whatever you want, it's not going to get you anywhere further than where you are. Maybe you're getting a promotion, maybe, I don't know. But it's not going to make you successful in your thing. If you're going to work for yourself on your own projects, then work hard.
Yeah.
That's the point where you work hard. But if you work at a Mackie D, working double shifts is not going to get you where you want to go.
Right.
So work hard on your own goals, but always, like I said before, passion is so important. The minute you lose that spark, and everything just collapses.
Yeah. Can you tell us what's on the media kits that you guys offer?
Well, in this case, the media kit for the restaurants, the hotels, and the tour operators, like we did in Costa Rica, we did it exchange for our services, but now our channel is substantially bigger than when we got here. So now it's in exchange for money. So for example, you have a business. We will make a promotional video for your business and, in exchange for money. But we also offer to put your video on our channel. We make a video, the 5 best restaurants of California. You want to be part of that. But there's also for an extra fee. So we can make you a customized video for your business, but we can also make you a part of that 5 best videos in California. We have reels that we're going to make. So in the media kit that's along the way, it's more us as videographers and making promotion. Because it's not just we have audience in 60 countries and we're going to drive through 15 or at least, maybe 16 during this trip. And that's a good publicity as well. It's going to be visible. Your business is going to be there. It's evergreen, because if your business is promoted in my video in 10 years, it's still going to be there, picking up views, picking up likes, getting traction. So it's an evergreen channel, which also is very important to let customers know, like, hey, this is evergreen. It's gonna grow. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get, if you step in now, it's gonna be cheaper than when you step in 5 years. So it's like a good moment to step in now. That's also part of the sales pitch in our media kit. And the media kits that we had initial for the RV or the vehicle that we were gonna get for the trip, then we would have stickers on the side of the vehicle promoting their company. And then, of course, within every video, you thank your sponsor. You make sure that people are aware of your sponsor, which in this case is us. So I make sure I'll promote myself in every video. But that's a joke. But yeah.
As you should. As you absolutely should.
That's what the shirts are for, right?
There you go. Sarah mentioned, kind of walk us through, through the pros and the cons. I mean, there's people out there that might be watching that are thinking about doing this. What can you say about it?
Well, depending what you want to do, if you talk about the digital life, digital nomad life, like I said before, the con is it's easier to get a job and get paid. Because then you go to work 5 days a week, whatever you do, you get paid. It's easy. With us, it's not, because you're relying on sources of income that are not reliable, because maybe you have a bad month, a good month, this business doesn't work, this is still starting, and every business takes time. So you need to have some sort of buffer or way to not spend money, for example, like we did with house and pet sitting, to have the time and the moment to build up the business. Of course, if you're stuck with your 9-to-5 job, it's going to be hard to start building up a business. You need to have that time. You either have time or money. So you have to find a way where you can start creating that, right? And everybody has something that they love. You can turn your passion into your job. You never work a day in your life. And that's the whole point,
True.
Which in my case is travel and videography. For you, that could be something different. So if people watch and they think, oh, I want to step out of the matrix. I want to be, that's the freedom. Sometimes it's a struggle, but for me, I rather have the struggle with the money or getting things done or building a business, knowing that every day, every hour, I'm building towards something for myself. That freedom is priceless. Like, if we're going to talk pros, first of all and most of all, it's the freedom. I don't answer to anybody. I don't have to say, yes, sir, no, sir. How do you have to jump, sir? What time do you have to be there? That freedom of not having somebody breathing in your neck, yelling at you, making you feel worthless, which happens in most workplaces, getting underpaid, you feeling shitty, having these gossiping colleagues, all that stress that most people experience having a job, that I never want to have again.
Right.
And so for me, that's a pro that outweighs every con, the freedom.
Yeah, I'm just curious, because I guess there's a few ways to do it. So like what you guys are doing is putting in your own money, and you're going to be, the lifestyle is your income. What other people, I guess, might do, because I was going to be one of my questions, but I think you've kind of answered that. I was curious as to why not just you both have good, stable remote positions working for a company that maybe you only work part-time and then you have your van bought and you do the trip but still work just in general along the way. So I was wondering, but it sounds like to me like this is your true passion. That's why you're doing it this way, because of the passion. You did that.
Yeah, not literally, but we kind of had our jobs customized towards being able to travel 3 to 4 times a year. And as much as we enjoyed that, every time you come back is another 4.
Like, what if you were fully remote?
Yeah, so for me, that was the decision to do this lifestyle because, full time, because it missed something.
That would be something I could do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like your instance, let's say if it was your dream to get from Alaska all the way down to Argentina, you could continue working.
Right, exactly.
You could buy a van. You could just work a little bit like you do.
Yeah.
You got lots of free time. You go golfing. You don't. You're a very hard worker.
And I'm giving the example because that's something I could do if it was my passion to do something like that.
Right.
But it sounds to me like the difference is their passion is sharing the experience, but also documenting it, sharing it.
Right.
Like that's where your
Well, one of my
comes from.
things that really is a goal, like you said before, people can look up to you and say, "Oh, that's a good example." I want to show people. I'm a welder. Before that, I worked as a waiter. I didn't go to school to study videography. I learned that along the way because it's my passion. So anyone can do this. It's not, you have to be this. Anybody that wants to set out and be a digital nomad or travel or do whatever you want, and you can. Everything you can do, but you have to do it yourself.
Right.
Nobody's gonna knock on your door and say, "Hey, let's go."
Totally. I was a social worker. I told people that. Like I was just a social worker in Virginia, making not that much, but surviving. What were you doing before?
Sales.
Okay.
All my life.
Exactly. So I do believe that your average person can do it, and there's ways. Now with the information age and everything that can be available and how much you can learn for free out there, for me, there's just no excuse. There's so much free information out there. You just have to have the discipline, and maybe that's what some people are lacking.
To give you an example, a friend of ours, you got artificial intelligence is rising up, and she really, really did a deep dive into ChatGPT with help of ChatGPT.
Sheila.
And she now gives courses, 3-hour courses, and I witnessed one of these courses to learn to work with ChatGPT. She gains $300, and I was in one of her courses. There were 5 people, and this was Thursday morning, and it was 11 o'clock. We finished, and I gave her a personal call. So that was really amazing. I learned so much about ChatGPT. I said, "Yeah. So what are you gonna do now?" "I'm going to the beach." So did you just make $1,500 on a Thursday morning? "Yeah, I did. But I'm going to the beach now. Bye." And I was like,
I love it. I love it.
My head exploded. And this is also how I came to so knowledge. What is my knowledge? The field of expertise is YouTube. So that's why I created a course about YouTube. So you can create a course about anything. And if you think, but I don't know nothing, ChatGPT, it can help you to create the course. It can help you to adjust the course. It can help you with so many things. You can write ebooks with ChatGPT.
You can be a Sheila teacher.
I want to be a Sheila. So, number one, I definitely want the information of your friend. I'd love to see what she's doing.
Oh my God, you two are gonna hook up and gonna be best friends.
So we call. Okay, good. Another shout out for Sheila. Me and my friends call ChatGPT Sheila. So sometimes we'll be in public and be like, "Well, I asked Sheila," or I talked to Sheila on my way home. Actually, I just talked. Okay, I said during our lunch break, Heido and I are going to go converse over some future podcast stuff, and I was like, "And we'll talk to Sheila about it." So for me, I call it Sheila.
Sheila is her psychiatrist, psychologist, everything.
Mine is called Lena.
Mine's on my phone. Look, it's there on the home screen. So all I gotta do is just press it, and Sheila's ready for me.
I'm on it all day. The thing is with ChatGPT,
ask Sheila to send us a shout out for the word at your feet. And that we're recording the podcast on audio.
She would send a shout out?
Yeah. Tell her we're recording the podcast.
Okay, Sheila, we're recording the podcast for our dear friends Bastian and Yolanda that have a YouTube channel called The World at Your Feet. And they're going to be traveling from Alaska all the way down the Pan American Highway. Can you give them a special shout out here on our podcast? Okay, so I usually transcribe. This is my Sheila trick. So sometimes when I talk to Sheila when I'm driving, I'll just transcribe it, send it, but then I'll push the button and she'll read it aloud.
That's what I want to hear.
Otherwise, sometimes she cuts me off. I need more time to get my thoughts out. This thing will go for 10 minutes. I can have an awkward pause for 10 minutes. Okay, we don't need to get all that.
Let's see what she says. put it on the mic.
Okay.
I like Sheila. I like Sheila because Sheila makes Sarah happy, and I'm happy that she makes her happy.
Special podcast shout out you can use.
Yeah.
My shout out segment. Before we dive in, we want to give a massive shout out to two of our favorite people in the world, Bastian and Yolanda from The World at Your Feet. These two incredible souls are about to embark on an epic journey from Alaska all the way down the Pan American Highway, and we couldn't be more excited to follow along. Bastian and Yolanda, your adventurous spirit, your love for the road, and your curiosity for culture and connection are so inspiring. Your YouTube channel is already a treasure trove of travel wisdom, and we can't wait to see what magic you'll capture next. So, to all our listeners, make sure you follow The World at Your Feet on YouTube. Trust us, you'll want front row seats to this wild ride.
That was great.
There you go.
I think we met before.
I couldn't have said it better myself. And
Right.
I've had some people say they found me through ChatGPT. Like they found
For
out
real?
about my services through chat.
Wow.
And I was like,
Well,
what's your Sheila?
I've never been told about that.
For example, I had my entire channel analyzed by Lena, minus Lena. I had my channel and I've also like, hey, who am I? I want you to review me. And since she spoke about the way I do my videos, not from my opinion, but from a third person perspective, and it was an eye opener for me to say, okay, so this is how people see my channel from a different perspective. And like I said, with this course, I learned a lot. You can name your IE, and you can actually, with the settings, you can really adapt it to you. Like, hey, I want you to speak to me like this. I don't want that. I want such and such. And you can really make it an assistant that's valuable, like I said, for so many things. You can write books in minutes, which you can sell online.
Oh, we made some funny books, Taylor and I.
Oh, you
Long
did?
story short, we were kind of bored on that
On the
car
plane?
ride, picking up the truck or whatever. And we went into great details about our friends. And then Sheila is so unhinged, like it gets crazy. So one of them was about our friends called Two Pastors Walk Into a Bar.
The name of the book?
I think she might do a TikTok series reading the books because they're
That'll be fun.
They're so unhinged,
That'll
but
be
they're
fun.
so good.
But see, that's the thing. You're laughing, but you're making a book, and everybody can laugh with it. You can sell it, and you can share that. And that's like I said, you don't need to have a skill these days to be able to make money online.
Just got to be creative.
Do your research. You don't even
Right,
need to be creative.
right.
You got Lena for that, or Sheila in your
Sheila.
case.
Now, Bastian, let me ask you. Last time you mentioned you had a bucket list. Can you share us what are some of the bucket lists you plan to complete during this
Sure.
trip?
Like I said as well, we have 163 set destinations for this trip already. Some of them I did through research, asking friends, asking our audience, like, where do we need to go? But some things are on my list. First
Those
of all,
are the ones I'm interested on finding out.
let's go from north to south.
Yes.
So first of all, for Alaska, that's the Northern Light. So that's why we need to try to be there by the end of September when the winter starts. We don't want to be there in the winter.
Right.
The winter's coming. That was a pun. Anyway, so the Northern Lights, that's something that's been really high on my list.
Oh, that's the light like on the sky, right?
So
Correct.
amazing.
Right.
And also to have a sled ride with the dogs.
Oh,
through the snow. That would-
cool.
yeah. Now, glaciers, we have them in Alaska. We have them in Chile as well. So we're going to see a lot of glaciers. And the United States, we have already did a road trip in 2016 where we covered every highlight that we wanted to see with the exception of Florida and Texas. So we're starting in Florida.
Yeah. But that
And-
doesn't count because you got to come.
Yeah, I know. So that one isn't really And Texas, we're actually going to meet up with fellow friends of us, also YouTubers who live in Texas, and we're
Okay.
going to meet them up and do collaboration. So the States for us is mere passing through. We already been to the
Because
East
you
Coast,
already did
US
it.
Correct.
Right.
Mexico's really up my list because I'm obsessed with Maya temples.
Now, let me ask you. I'm sorry that
No,
I
sure.
interrupt.
No worries.
I'm
What?
trying.
Hello?
I'm trying to put
No
this
pressure.
that it doesn't sound bad, but with all the cartels and endangering Mexico, are you kind of scared of?
I have a lot of faith in a lot of things, and I believe in energies. And if you're good energy and you're positive and all that kind of stuff, you attract abundance, good people, and stuff like that. And I can say from personal experience, this is the way it works. but you're an asshole. That's what you get. That's
Right,
what you
of
attract.
course.
And I've been there too.
100%.
And my life was in a real mess at some point. And this is also what I learned about energies and all that kind of
So
stuff.
you're not stopping like you're gonna avoid like.
I'm not afraid of anything. If something is meant to happen, good or bad, it's gonna happen. Whether you're gonna sit here or sit home or be in the plane doesn't matter. When
Okay,
it's your time, it's your
so
time.
like that was kind of my question. So like you're gonna go through in even if. I mean, I don't want to say it's a dangerous place, but you might run into a place that has something real beautiful and nice that you want to see. But it's probably dangerous to visit it. You're just gonna go because you want to see this special place that you might find
Correct.
down the road.
You can get robbed in Amsterdam. You can get robbed
Yeah,
anywhere.
anywhere.
So
Yeah,
there's
anywhere.
some places more than
An
others.
accident can happen anywhere
But
too.
it's like San Jose. There are places that you shouldn't go at night. So it's also a bit of common sense. But like I said,
Okay,
we're
okay.
two people. We're tall. We're not scared. So
That I understand. So Mexico,
Mexico,
Mayas.
Maya temples. As I got so many Maya temples on my list. So that's really like. a
You never
must.
been to Cancun, right?
No.
In Mexico, one of the 7 wonders of the world. In close to Cancun, I visited. I don't remember the name now.
Chichen
With
Itza.
Chichen Itza.
Itza.
Yeah, Chichen Itza.
Chichen
Yeah.
Itza. I visited.
It's on our trailer. That's definitely on our list.
Okay.
And then for Nicaragua, there's an active volcano where you can see lava.
Cool.
In Guatemala.
Really?
In Guatemala,
Oh.
they have big active volcanoes.
Or one just started getting active. I have a friend
didn't
that was there.
Didn't
over
you
the
go to
last week.
Guatemala?
Yeah, I've been to Guatemala, Salvador.
But didn't you walk through around one of them volcanoes where
That was
you
El
feel-
Salvador, where you could see the inside of the crater. You could
See the
smell
lava
the
as well?
sulfur.
My assistant Tamara, she's right there, and she walked. She said like she could feel at her feet like the warmth of when you walk.
That's cool. So that's we've seen volcanoes, I've seen activities, burbujas and such. but
Last
I've-
episode you mentioned Belize. What are you wondering to see in Belize?
Well, it wasn't on our list, and then people start telling, "Oh, you shouldn't skip Belize. You shouldn't skip Belize." And you start watching pictures, and it's beautiful.
It is.
And then I met I didn't meet one guy online who actually he lives there, and then he traveled a lot, which is also we travel because one day we want to settle down and find the perfect place. And he said it's Belize, and I said, "Why? You need to see it." So I was like, well, we're actually, if you look at our itinerary, when we do the curve in Mexico, it's going to be a long way around to get to Honduras, or we just got through Belize. I said, well, that's a win-win. I'm really curious to see what and why it's so special. So
Yeah. I've been told Belize is very.
Yeah.
It's
The
very.
plane tickets from here are really expensive. I've looked at plane tickets to Belize before.
Never look at it.
They're expensive
So
from here.
are you gonna go because Honduras, El Salvador, Honduras y El Salvador, like they're like real close by. Are you gonna pass through Belize and pass through?
Honduras, El Salvador, we're going to pass as much as we can. Some countries we have less things on our list than others.
Okay.
For safety reasons as well as for there's not much to do or there's less places of interest or
And since you've been living in Costa Rica, besides coming again to our podcast, what things you think you might gonna do in Costa Rica? Or
be
you're just
honest,
gonna go through?
no. To be honest, we made so many friends in these 4.5 years that for us it's gonna be a homecoming. There's people we're
Okay.
really looking forward
Yeah.
to. And this is gonna sound silly. I'm actually looking forward more to seeing the dogs, the pets from the houses we sit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm an animal person. But yeah, visiting friends. But for sure, as we are with our channel, we are for sure going to revisit some of our favorite spots in Costa Rica
Okay.
and make some new videos with that.
All right.
Yeah, we'll want to see you. So we'll obviously see you here.
Oh, yeah,
We
of
can do a
course.
video showing the van. I want to see what your
Oh,
van
yeah.
looks like. Yeah, that'll be
Cool.
awesome.
Well, I'm going to do a tour with the van. Actually, there's a picture on there. That's the van. I put that in my thumbnail.
Love it. Love
Nice.
it. Very
It's
cool.
a Ram,
Ram.
ProMaster 2500, but it's converted. So there's a window on the other
Inside.
side, and there's going to be stickers on the side, on the back as well. So it's going
Nice.
to look a lot
Okay.
cooler.
What else is in your bucket list?
So like I said, the volcano activity to see lava, and also in Nicaragua, there's a volcano where you are going to slide down.
Ooh.
So it's a 2-hour
I heard
hike
about
to the
that.
top.
I heard about that, I thought.
And that looks so cool. So that's on my list.
Okay.
Then we come Costa Rica, which we already just covered, like Manu Antonio, Corcovado.
Yeah.
There's things I really want to revisit, and there's stuff that we didn't visit that might add in there. But I really want to put Costa Rica on the map again for the people that did not follow our channel in the last couple of years or don't want to dig into old videos. Then we have Panama. Panama, we actually seen everything that we wanted to see during house sits and border runs. So that will be one that we would pass through.
Pass through. Okay.
Of course, there's always stops, but not as much. Then we got to the exciting part. To be very honest, for me, Central and South America are the main highlights. In South America, I've been obsessed with jungles and Amazons and Maya temples and Incas and all that kind of stuff. Of course, Costa Rica has given us a good taste of the jungle and the wildlife. And when you get to Peru,
I'm sure you're gonna stop by at the middle of the world.
yes, there's
Ecuador.
yes, there's a place in Ecuador, like the middle of the center of the So Ecuador and Guatemala are really beautiful. That's just that country itself is a highlight. Peru is on my list for a long
Yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah.
We should
do a trip together to Peru.
I want to do Peru, but I want to go 2 weeks there. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Minimum
At
2 weeks. I want to
least.
give
We
it.
should
what
schedule
it
and go
deserves.
together because my wife, she been wanting to go to Peru for a while.
I really
now.
want to do Peru.
We should.
Okay, it needs to be like really well.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that could be
Very well planned.
That could be one of those times that you come and visit us.
Right.
right. I want to go back to Colombia. I was just in Colombia last week. So
I saw
wanna go
your
back.
saw some of your videos. That looks really cool. El
Colombia.
Peñol is on our
Yeah.
list as well. But like I said, Peru for me, it's the Machu Picchu and everything in the Sacred Valley because it's a lot more than just Machu Picchu, of course. I want to see the Rainbow Mountains. We've seen them in Argentina.
Oh, my mom saw them
but,
in Peru.
Beautiful.
La montaña de color.
It's wow.
Yeah, my mom saw them.
And of course, we want to take a plane to do the Nazca lines, to see the Nazca lines from above,
up.
because that's just really interesting. Then Peru, Ecuador, Colombia. Then we have the
Wine in Chile.
wine, of course. There's the wine tasting is very, very important. It's one of the best wines in Argentina and Chile.
Chile.
And one thing that's not on the Pan American Highway, but it is on our list, is Eastern Island. And before, years ago, you would have to take a boat. Long story short, now you can take a plane from Santiago. And I said to Yolanda, we're going to be in Santiago, Chile.
Yeah.
It will be stupid.
Not to do it.
And then come back in 2, 3, 5 years.
Yeah.
We're here now, so we're
Yeah.
going to park the car. We're going to take a
There you
plane.
go.
We're going to go see Easter Island, and then of course more glaciers and the Marble Cave. There's a cave which is entirely made up of marble on the inside,
Nice.
yellow, blue, different colors. And then we get to Argentina. Argentina, we also did a road trip many years ago with one of my good friends.
You don't go to Brazil before going to Argentina?
We're first going to finish the Pan American Highway.
Then you do Brazil.
Yeah, because then
Brazil will be the extra bonus.
That's for me is the final country on my bucket list that we haven't covered yet when we finish this trip. So it will be best. We're here now. Let's do it.
Exactly.
And then we come down Argentina from the west side, and then we could take the east coast up. Northern Argentina we already did in a road trip many years ago. Some places I would like to revisit. That's not a problem. But yeah, mainly it's going to be the west coast for the trip, the glaciers. And
Here's the thing with Bastian. He has experience. He mentioned already he did road trip in the U.S., road trip in Argentina. You know your stuff. So this is going to be absolutely great, man.
That's why I'm not worried about anything. Like, we're seasoned travelers, and we tried every way of travel, from sleeping in a tent to doing cruises, which is really amazing as well. Something that will come in the future. And you try different ways, different venues of traveling, cheap, expensive, this, and you find you have to drive on the left side here. Oh, now we have to drive a camper van. And we always say, if you can drive a scooter in Bali, you can drive anything, anywhere. So
I seen videos.
you get accustomed. That's why we're not that much worried. Like, it's not our first trip, and we're just excited. That's all.
Everybody, make sure you follow the word at your feet. They are at 27,000 subscribers right now. When they come back in about a year from now, there better be about a 50,000 plus.
So make sure to subscribe and follow our adventures.
Yes.
Subscribe. We'll have you on for a future update. Maybe, like I said, we can get creative about the little videos, even maybe just being on my channel. We can just do a little video call as well, get your update.
I'll see where you guys are around February or March. Maybe come visit you.
When it's cold here, it's a good plan.
Yeah.
And of course, we also have, like I said there, memberships. Like, if people want to follow us, but they want to have like an upgrade, early access to videos, or access to videos that are now locked, like our previous adventures and travels. That's where we've got the memberships available as well. So if you really want to be on top of everything, that's the way to go.
Nice.
Love it.
Hit the join button.
Nice.
Thanks again.
Thank you
A pleasure
for
as
sharing.
always.
Thank you for giving us the primacy of what's going on. And like Sarah mentioned, it will be nice to be doing shorts or upgrade updates
Sure.
from time to time.
Let's do that.
Cool. I love it. Well, thanks again for
Thank you very
everything,
much.
and we'll
All
see you in a
right.
future episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Esto fue una producción de La Resortera.